Hey everyone, Swirl the Cat here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a Diabolos deck profile post a Brush with the Legends booster pack 2 from Cardfight Vanguard overdress. So let's just get right into it by showing you guys the Ride deck. And if you guys don't know, the Ride deck is just a deck outside of your main deck that you can ride from by discarding a card. Nothing has really changed with the Ride deck from the last deck profile, but I'll show you guys anyways in case you're new. So, for the grade 0, the starter, I'm running Diabolos Innocent Matte, and he has the effect that all starters do, and that is auto effect when this unit is rode upon. If you went second, you get to draw a card. Next up is our grade 1 in the Ride deck, Diabolos Bad Steve. He has an auto effect when this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose a card from your soul, call it to the back row, center, rearguard, and soul charge 1. He also has a continuous rearguard effect. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets +5. Next card is Diabolos Anger Richard, and he has an auto effect when this unit is placed on Vanguard, you can put a rearguard in your soul and draw a card. He has a continuous rearguard effect that is if you are in Final Rush, he gets +5. And our last card in our Ride deck is Diabolos Violence Bruce, and he has an auto Vanguard effect at the start of your Ride phase if you Final Rush. So, if you have him on your Vanguard, you just declare Final Rush, and that makes you in Final Rush. So, and he has another auto effect on Vanguard when this unit attacks. If you are in Final Rush, Soul Blast 5, and stand all of your front row rear guards. That's it for our Ride deck, so I'm just going to set these right on over here, and then we'll get into the main deck. And I'll start off by showing you guys the grade 3s. And the first grade 3 is the one that I just showed you guys in the Ride deck, and that's just Diabolos Violence Bruce. And I'm not going to read him again because I just showed him to you, so I'm just going to set him right over there. We run 3, so then we kind of have a play set, including the one in our Ride deck. The next grade 3 that I run is this one, Upward Acrobat Majorie. And I like to run her because she does a little bit of everything. So she has an auto effect on rearguard once per turn when this unit attacks. If you are in Final Rush, put one of your other rearguards into soul, draw a card, soul charge 1, and this unit gets plus 10,000 until the end of turn. So I run 3 of her, I'll set her there. The next card is a new card from set 2. And it is Hell Blast Full Drive. And you can play this card by counterblasting 1, you can draw a card, choose a card from your hand, and call it to rearguard. Then, if you are in Final Rush, all of your front row units get plus 10,000 until the end of turn. Now that we're done with the grade 3s, I'll show you guys the grade 2s. And the first one is, I run a playset of Diabolos Boys Eden. He came out in the first set, and he has a continuous rearguard effect. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets +5, and this unit can stand this turn by a card effect. I'm sorry. If this unit stood this turn by a card effect, it gets +1 crit. I thought that was wrong, I'm just reading it incorrectly. Anyways, he has another auto effect on rearguard. When this unit attack hits, you can counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retire it. I just like him because he is a lot of pressure for just a rearguard. He gets a crit and +5, and he can kill one of your opponent's rearguards. So I'll just set him there, and we'll move on to the next grade 2. And the next one is also a brand new card. It's Diabolos Jetbacker Leonard. He has a continuous rearguard effect. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets +5, and this unit would attack. It battles all of your opponent's units in a column. He also has an auto rearguard effect. When this unit attack hits, you get the soul charge 1, and if your Vanguard is Diabolos Violence Bruce, choose up to 1 card from your soul and call it to an open rearguard. So I just really love this card because he can fill out your field, and he is also pressure for your opponent because he gets a buff of +5. The next grade 2 is also the last grade 2 that I run in this deck. It's Diabolos Boys Jared. He came out in Festival Collection, and I'm only running 2 of him because I feel like the ones we got in set 1 and 2 are a little bit better than this guy, but this guy is still pretty good. So he has an act effect on rearguard. Once per turn, you can counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your units with Diabolos and its card name, and it gets plus 10,000 until the end of turn. He has another effect on, it's an auto effect on rearguard. When this unit attack When this unit attacks, if you're in Final Rush, your opponent cannot intercept until the end of that battle. So just run 2 of him, set him there, and we'll move on to the grade 1s now. The first grade 1 is Acrobat Presenter, and here let me focus in the camera a little bit better there. Okay, there we go. He has an auto effect on Rearguard when this unit attacks or boosts. If your Vanguard is Diabolos Violence Bruce, you get to Soul Charge 1. And if you are in Final Rush, you get to Soul Charge another 1. So I just like to run him because he just helps build up for Bruce's effect of the Soul Blast 5. And the next card I run is probably one of my favorite arts currently in this deck. It's totally not because I pulled an SP of it, but anyways. I run 3 copies of Diabolos Madonna Mabel. She has an auto effect on Rearguard when this unit boosts a Vanguard. If you are in Final Rush, Counterblast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets triple drive until the end of turn. Obviously, you can see why I really like this card. I mean, it just gives your card triple drive, so that can totally help you throughout the whole game, just giving you cards to use to guard and call for next turn. Here is our next grade 1 we run. It's just the perfect guard, and let me see if I can say this correctly. Rikusal Hate Dragon? He has a really weird first name. Anyways, so this is just the perfect guard for the deck. If you guys can't get a hold of these, I'm not sure what the price on them is right now. You can just run the one that came out in the starter deck because it basically does the same thing. I just like to run this one because you get that little additional effect. So when this unit is placed on the guard circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So if you only have 2 cards in your hand, you don't have to pay the cost to discard. You can just put this on the guard circle and it'll perfect guard. So run 4 of those. Here is the last grade 1 I run. It's an order card. And it's just Brother's Soul. It came out of the starter deck, and all it does is soul charges too. So I just like to run this for the soul charge, so we can have resources for Bruce. Next up is the grade 0s. So I'll show you guys what triggers I'm using. I'm using 4 crit trigger. It's Diabolos Girl's My. Set her there. The next one I'm running is the heal trigger, Diabolos Girl's Ariana. And the next one is the draw trigger, Diabolos Boy's Jake. Up next is one that came out of the new set, actually. It's Diabolos Girl's Natalia. I hope I said that right. Natalia, something like that. But she's a front trigger, and we run her for the skill. She has a continuous guard circle effect. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +5 shield. So you can just be a little bit more defensive against your opponent with this card. I always like to try out rainbow triggers, but you guys can totally run whatever you guys want. I just like to run rainbow triggers because I think it's kind of fun, but anyways, here is our last trigger, and it's the over trigger, Hades Dragon Deity of Resentment Gal Mage Held. And I think I said that right. Why does this guy have such a long name? Anyways, so this is our over trigger. You may only have 1 over trigger in a deck. When revealed as a trigger, remove that card, draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 100 million until the end of turn. If revealed during drive check, activate its additional effect. And the additional effect is, you get, during your turn, all of your Vanguards get plus 10,000 and a crit until the end of this fight. So, that's our over trigger that we're running, but if you guys can't get a hold of this, you can just run the generic over trigger that I think everyone got in the structure deck. So, that was it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be making some more videos and more deck profiles in the future, so stay tuned for those, and I will see you guys next time.